Hey everyone, my name is Asia. I'm with College Vine, and before we get started talking about your college essays today, I just want to take a moment to remind you about our free essay services. So, first, if you want to get a free review of your essay, you can head on over here and submit your essay. You'll get detailed inline edits, and you'll get your essay back in a return time of about 3 to 8 hours, maybe even less. And you can also improve your own writing skills by reviewing another student's essay right here. So a student will submit their essay, you'll provide feedback and send it back to them. And if you're looking for some more help on your essays, some guidance, you can head on over to our essay prompts and guides. So in our essay prompts and guides, you'll find a list of all the schools that you're applying to and how to write the essays. Head on over to collegevine.com to sign up and get started with all our free essay services today.
So topic B is most students have an identity, interest, or talent that defines them in an essential way. Tell us about yourself. So in this essay, identity can refer to any number of traits that you feel define you. This can include race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, identity, and other more community-based identities such as gamer, athlete, artist, weaver, dancer, Democrat. So what we're trying to make a point about is that community can be defined as a lot of different things. It's not just specific to demographics or relationships with other people. It can really be an identity through a passion of yours. So say you're on a chess team, right? Community in that sense could be the chess community as a whole, or maybe even like an intellectual community, or maybe a book club that you attend, right? So identity essays are a great opportunity to demonstrate your critical political acuity, personal convictions, and social history. Identity essays are risky because the premise of writing about identity is that you'll demonstrate what makes you unique as a person. And so if what you're writing about doesn't make you quote unquote unique as a person, you might want to almost stay away from it. You might want to stay away from this essay. You're really striving to make an essay with content that paints you as a more unique applicant. Something that'll help you stand out beyond the norm. Right? The biggest mistake in these essays is spending too much time on the shared elements of the identity and not enough on the individual elements. It's definitely the most risky approach to this prompt because, okay, so now if we kind of specifically look at the talent portion of this prompt, right? So if we focus on talking about a talent, it's the most risky approach to this prompt because it'll too easily overlap with the resume and other extracurricular activities. Just make sure you're elaborating on your talents rather than reiterating them and discussing how they intersect with your personality and worldview. Beyond the talents already featured in your application, you have a talent that's distinct from your formal activities on your resume. A topic of talent allows you to write about interpersonal skills as well. And then finally, if you kind of respond to this prompt in terms of interest, you want to have interests that are unique from your talents and that you need not necessarily be good at them and maybe not even be skills related. So for example, you don't have to have a talent for watching pigeons, but you could have a fascination with watching pigeons. And to you, that's pretty unique, right? So it actually might be helpful to, or pretty cool to write about that because it'll make a very unique essay topic. You can also make this essay especially unique or again fascinating. I would say that watching pigeons or having fascination with pigeons is pretty interesting to talk about, very unique. So that kind of interest would be really cool to exploit in an essay. But you also risk missing the whole point of the prompt, and you need to tell the committee about yourself. So in just talking about your fascination with pigeons, really easy to kind of get lost in that language, really describe that on detail. But remember, the main point of these essays is to get to know you on a more personal level. So just talking about pigeons isn't really going to do it, right? Okay. So in terms of topic B, brainstorming, you want to make a list of just defining characteristics and prioritize the positive ones. So they can reflect in your identity, your interest, or talent. Just write a whole bunch out, right? And then you want to make a genealogy of each characteristic. How do they become important to you and what experiences drove that? So for identity, you might talk about you being part of the LGBTQ community and you really kind of feeling comfortable in that environment. An interest might be something like pigeon watching. And then a talent might be your prowess at bowling, right? Every time you pick up a bowling ball, you hit a strike, right? Okay. So here we've identified 3 characteristics specific to identity, interest, and talent respectively. Now you want to write about how they became important to you over time. So you want to think about each of those characteristics and talk about how they came about. So how did you get involved in the LGBTQ community? How did you grow a passion for watching pigeons? And then finally, how did you grow a passion for bowling? How did you get good at it? The next step would be rank the traits and accompanying genealogies and pick the most compelling genealogy. The traits are interchangeable. So what we mean by that is, of course, rank the characteristics and kind of the background to them in some kind of hierarchy. Choose the best one. But it's also important to note that the traits are interchangeable. So what we mean by that is, say, okay, so I'm trying to pick 2 ideas that are very similar to each other. Okay, let me think. Okay, so maybe your talent is you're really good at convincing people of your side of an argument, right? Okay, so that's your talent. And then your interest is, say, selling Boy Scout cookies or Girl Scout cookies, right? Okay, so in some ways, the interests and talents are different, right? So talent is you're good at convincing people. Interest is you're good at selling cookies to other people. But the backgrounds might end up being running in tandem, right? So you got good at convincing people by selling cookies to other people, convincing them that they really wanted the cookies, right? So what we mean by kind of the last point is that the genealogies and traits are interchangeable in the sense that the background stories might be the same for 2 separate characteristics.